You don't want to be one of those people out there just trying and trying and trying and trying just to get people in. Building your list isn't an effective way to build a long-term sustainable business. Just trying to get clients in, trying to get new ones in, and you tend to get people who don't have the money, who don't have that knowledge to implement that information, or it's the wrong solution for them. So one of the questions that people have been asking me is, we've got these great ideas, but how do I get more clients? And here's just a few of my tips on how I've been able to do that. So the first tip is don't try. You don't want to be one of those people out there just trying and trying and trying and trying just to get people in. Building your list isn't an effective way to build a long-term sustainable business. Just trying to get clients in, trying to get new ones in, and you tend to get people who don't have the money, who don't have that knowledge to implement that information, or it's the wrong solution for them. Because they just want to buy stuff and they think it's the right solution, but if you had a bit more understanding of what their problems are, you might offer them a different thing. And it does depend on the type of client that you want. So if you're trying to sell something for $25, it's not a great risk for people to be able to try it. If it fails, they just go and buy something else. But if it's something for $1,000, $1,500, $10,000, then the risk of loss for them is greater, and the way that you manage to engage that potential client is much different. So first step is don't try. Don't be out there just trying to get everybody in. It's got to be relevant. It's got to be relevant for your business. So you want people that can afford to be able to pay you $1,500 to $2,000. Again, it's different to someone who only wants to pay $25. Then the next tip is to look to give first. And you're trying to give something away. It just doesn't seem right. But what you're trying to do is create that relationship bond, because you're trying to make that relationship between you and the potential purchaser based on their solution, based on your solution for their problem. So it's trying to get that understanding from them. And one of the ways is to share how you've been able to help different problems of other people. So if you have a system, which could be an online quiz or online information stream, setting up these online groups in Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or these other groups where you can have that two-way communication to try and get that understanding of what their problems are, and then you can work out a solution to give them their solution. The other way is to be able to actually give solutions for different problems. And then they can look at their problem to see if it fits in any of those categories. So it could be a tourist looking to travel to Southeast Asia and they may have issues of language or food or travel times. It could be someone from America looking to come to Australia or England and having an issue on driving on the wrong side, driving on a different side of the road. It could be someone in agriculture looking to set up a vineyard in an area, but they've got a problem on the size of their vineyard that makes it worthwhile to be able to actually to construct, and how they're going to. Are they just going to sell grapes, or they're going to make wine, or they're going to market their own product? People have all different problems. So unless you can sit down and have that one-on-one to be able to get that really understanding of what their problems are, then if you give them a whole range of problems of other people that you've helped, they can slot themselves into it. If their problems are the same as those and what their solutions may be for them, or you have that communication to be able to find out on an individual basis what their issues are. And then they can start resonating with those solutions. Then it's about, okay, how can that solution work for me? So I don't have enough water. So how can I have a vineyard? I can't drive. I can only drive an automatic car. I can't drive a manual car. what happens if I have an accident. There's a whole range of things which are individual to individual people. So I found with ClickFunnels is a way to be able to set up a quiz. So you can start to be able to set up a way to be able to ask people questions. So one is having a quiz, and you set up a quiz and have a range of different answers, and based on those answers, then you can send people information on their particular solutions based on the quizzes, based on their problems. There's different things like chatbots. There's now a program that can take you on a journey on a video. So I've used it down at Port Arthur. It's a tourist mecca in Tasmania, in a World Heritage area, but there's a whole range of things. It's just not colonial history, which it's known for. It's actually got bushwalking and fine food and a whole range of other activities down there that people may be more interested in rather than just the colonial history. So you can actually take people on a journey, getting an understanding of what their needs are. So it might all be bushwalking as an example. So rather than a 3-day hike that's going to cost $2,000 or $3,000 in an upmarket walking experience, they might just want some day hikes and just some information from there where they can come and stay at our motel and have these other experiences. So it's a way to be able to take people on that journey to get that understanding of what their needs are, and then you can offer those solutions. Webinar is another way to be able to give people information that they can glean parts of information for their solution. So a webinar is a longer form of video, which can be able to take people on that journey on what their challenges could be and offer a whole range of different solutions. Others could be a podcast. So a podcast, just a weekly podcast as a regular thing, just in an audio form that can give people information on different problems and then different solutions. Then people then can pick out what their problems could be, relate to them, then relate to the solution, and then can see whether they want to purchase or not. I found with high ticket programs looking to sell a program, say for $15,000, $20,000, it's really important that you actually talk then to the people. But you don't have time to talk to everybody. So one process within ClickFunnels as a process, you can actually ask them, have a questionnaire to find out where they are in their stage of their business, where they are in their stage of their life, whether they can afford that program. And it forces them to be objective in the outcomes which they really want. It could be losing weight, but are they prepared to be able to make those decisions that have to be made to change their lifestyle to be able to lose weight? I'm one of those that joined a gym. I joined a gym to lose weight. So I joined a gym. I didn't lose weight, but I didn't turn up. And there's actually a lot of people that do that. They actually take a program, or they join a gym, or they think that just taking something that's going to make a change. In my involvement with the Junior Chamber of Commerce was that we had this slogan about join Junior Chamber, and we develop tomorrow's leaders today. And so if you join JCs, that you're suddenly going to become a leader in the future. So they put their hands in the pockets and they wait for this bolt of lightning to make this change, make this thing happen, and make them into a leader. But you've got to do things. You've got to make that change. So it's getting that understanding if people want to change. Because if they don't want to change, don't waste your time, because that's a client that you don't want. Because you want clients that are going to work with you to be able to make that change in their lifestyle, change in that business, make that paradigm shift to be able to use that knowledge and that implementation, which is really important with that knowledge to be able to make that change in their business. And if they're not going to change, then all you do is setting everybody up for failure, not just for them that they're not going to use that information which you've got to be able to make that change, but they're going to tell all their friends that your product's no good. So that your product isn't a solution for people. And it's really important for your business that you want to get that client, make this client happy, because you want them to become advocates to be able to get to this client. And that's the turbocharging part of business tribes. That to be able to get new client, you get by far the best way and the cheapest way is to get a word of mouth from a current client. So really looking after each client, really understanding what their problems are, giving them solutions that are going to work for their business, going to work for their organisation, makes them advocates for you. And they have tribes, which could be a family tribe, it could be a Lions Club or a Rotary Club or a sporting group or another industry group. Everybody has different tribes. And if you can create that strong bond between you and that consumer, you and that purchaser, that you've got solutions for their problems, they're going to tell their friends. So suddenly you're going to get a client from over here based not on advertising that you've done, not based on just a few ads. It's based on that word of mouth from people that have really worked. Based on that word of mouth from solutions from people to be able to make their business, their organisation better. And that's the best way to be able to get new clients, is to get that word of mouth. Then you're not talking about price. You're not talking about fighting against somebody else, some competitor. It's now the conversation is, how can I make your business better, the same as I've made this person's better? And that creates a long-term sustainable business. I hope you really enjoyed this video. And if you want a deeper dive where I share some more information on how you can implement business tribes in your business or organisation, grab the link below at businesstribes.com.